So it happens right at the horn. Dalloway is unable to continue, and he's disqualified. Now, it looked like a solid DQ to me. You heard Dana agree with me. Frank may have a different take on this. Let's watch the replay here.
Time in slow motion is the kick to the body. Now here's the buzzer, and boom, that's after the buzzer. And let's listen one more time. There's no question at all. That was 100% after the buzzer.
Yeah. All right,
we'll
stop that. All right, where you got, Frank?
All right. I do agree that it's a disqualification because you have to protect CB.
Yeah.
The mistake was made. Now, do I think it was a flagrant foul that he did on purpose, like the bell rang, he tried to get a cheap shot? Not at all. What I think is called a sequence. Anybody, even Dana, who's done aerobic boxing instruction would understand that you call combos, right? So if I sit there and go 1, 2, 3, your body is thinking not 1, let me look, okay, there's the 2, all right, let me look, there's the 3, 3. Your body is sequenced that certain combinations your body leads through. It's like a dance move. You hit steps 1, 2, and 3, your body doesn't have to go 1, 2, 3. You start having efficiency because you've drilled it so many times that it's not a higher process thought, it's a reaction. So what's going on there is that is a very common combination to do off of a kick. He caught the kick, he threw it down, he throws a lead hand, right? And then the buzzer stung, it goes through, but then his body already is going 1, 2. Catch the kick, 1, 2. He's probably drilled that 1,000 times in the gym. So even though the buzzer went off, his body already is throwing the 2 when the 1 went. It's just a sequence of movements that is occurring. It's almost like a conversation where one word leads to the next. It's just the sequence of movement. It's the momentum of the fight. And so his body just fucked up. He couldn't pull out of the sequence. It's like, uppercut hook. I throw the uppercut, now the buzzer rang, but my body already is loading up onto my leg to throw that hook. You can pull from it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm just trying to, for anybody at home that sits there and goes, well, that was fucked up. I'm like, he didn't throw the 1 and go, oh, now here's the 2. His body he's drilled it so many times, it was a blink reflex. It's like dropping your hands and sprawling at the same time. You don't have to think, okay, down block, get my head in between, pull my legs back. We drill it so many times that, boom, you kick back. One motion leads to the next in combination. It's like a snap down to a double. Okay, I've drilled this so many times that if I snap you down and you lift your head up, as soon as I feel that tension, I let go and I shoot. Most high school wrestlers, you ask them, hey, after you feel that trigger, your body's going to drop, drive, slide underneath the knee, the leg drag comes up, boom, you're going to drive into your shot. So I think that's what really happened with him. Now, is it a disqualification? Yeah, because fuck, man, he got an unfair advantage now that he hit CB Dalloway's not going to be able to recover. But I don't think it should in any way diminish the character of Hector, who he and I, we fought together on the same cards and stuff. It's not like we're boys. I don't even have his number in my phone. But me seeing that, like if I was in CB Dalloway's corner, I wouldn't go, man, that was fucked up, man. I'd be like, ah, shit, that's just fighting, and that happens.
Now, he ultimately has to be responsible for his hands.
It
right?
did,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, so let me ask you this, and I don't know the answer to this question, so let me ask you from a fighter's perspective. In that time frame where, and I think your points are fair that, that when you're in mid-sequence, it's not like you have one eye on the clock and you're watching it tick down to the last second. However, let me ask you this question. He's going to hear the 10-second warning, right? He's going to hear the sticks. Is there, in a fighter's mind, a thought that, okay, I'm within that 10-second window? So while I do while I do need to step on the gas and finish strong, I also need to be aware.
It's not going to catch you by surprise. You're absolutely right, the point you're making, and it was a mental mistake of Hector to do that. Again, though, there are those after the bell shots where, like, especially off a break, if we're both clinched against each other, and all of a sudden the boop, and then I break away from you, right? And then boom, I throw the shot. You can deliberately see that, okay, you didn't initiate an offensive movement until after the bell.
Yeah.
Whereas Hector's offensive movement was initiated off the kick. that catch the kick, his catch 1-2 is all one mental sequence.
Yeah.
And that started a half a second before the bell and then finished a second after the bell.
That makes sense.
That's what happened there. But what you're saying about being aware, I'm very, you're sitting there going, but it happens. It happens in training. I feel bad when that's the worst. I mean, obviously, I guess I can't say it's the worst because losing your win and getting a DQ is the worst. But in training against your friends and sparring partners, look, man, at least once a month, one of us are going to hit each other on the bell or after the bell on accident, especially in the heated moment. You're fighting, boom. And then it's even worse there because we only have a 30-second warning. We don't get 10-second warnings in training. Yeah. Usually the bell, if you're doing a 3-minute round, at 2.5 minutes, their 30-second clock goes, dee, dee, dee. Okay, I got 30 seconds. That's a long time to forget that 30 seconds. You're not going to go, okay, I got 30 seconds. It's too much time to hold on to. So I've caught guys afterwards, sequencing. The shot that I most deliberately did, and I was like, oh, shit. And you could see even his reaction when he put his hand out. I remember one time with one of my training partners, I was setting up a level change straight left hand. So I go, jab, level change. I took a shot, come back. As the buzzer rang, I changed levels. But then because my brain already knew what I wanted to do, beep, pow, a good half a second after the bell rang, a full heartbeat, I threw a straight left. By the time I threw it, I mean, even as I level changed, my partner was tired. He heard the bell ring and immediately just dropped his hands. And so if you're watching at home, you're like, dude, Frank Mir's a dick. He just purposely, his partner dropped his hands. But in my brain, I'm like, okay, boom, I'm going,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, do you think Lombard would have helped himself by exhibiting some kind of remorse in the moment?
Yeah.
Because the other problem, too, is when he landed it, he kind of pointed at him and walked away like, take that.
Yeah, and I didn't know if that was a take that or if that was like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, it could have, I don't know. I took it like, in fact.
Yeah.
Afterwards, like you saying that, I'm like, yeah, that looks like what you're saying. I can see that. But my first thought was, oh, he pointed like, my bad, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's one of those things where, I kick someone in the groin on accident. It doesn't quite stop the pace of the fight. But it's one of those like, I acknowledge I made a mistake. In the middle of combat, we kind of do that. I know it's weird to people, here you're trying to kill each other in a fight. But even amongst that, you know what I mean? You get a jab in the eye. If I poke someone in the eye, you sit there and go, you touch your forehead. You do some kind of like, I acknowledge that I fucked up, meaning that I'm not trying to do that. You know what I mean? Relax, Where if I don't get that some kind of acknowledgement, like, all right, motherfucker, you're trying to play dirty. Well, let's bring out the dirty tricks.
Yeah. I just think he would have helped himself by some kind of
a little bit more of a
contrition.
Yeah. He was too poker face afterwards. And the point, if he had been like, oh shit, and put his hands together, lowered his stance, there's so many nonverbal communications I think he could have done to help himself. But I don't even think he registered at that moment. I mean,
yeah.